So I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We've got a ton to go over in this video, including, yes, new gameplay from Geonosis will be dropping on Monday. Ryan is heading back from Sweden right now. He told me he captured some epic gameplay for you guys. I am totally hyped for this. So remember, it's going to be next Monday. Whatever you do, I highly recommend smacking that subscribe button, hitting that bell notification icon so you do not miss this gameplay. Trust me, you're going to want to see this. I guess it's incredible. I can't wait to see it. But yeah, Ryan is heading back right now from Sweden. But we've got a lot to talk about in this video as we right now take a look at some mod gameplay of Dooku, who of course will be coming out in 2019. But yes, we're going to be talking about new hero updates, you know, the reaction from the community about Geonosis, and so much more. But yes, welcome back to the Star Wars HQ. Let us dive into the news, shall we? So yeah, remember, Monday, guys. Monday's gonna be freaking epic. But yeah, this was really cool to know. This was posted out on Reddit by Debindu Monk, who says, in less than 24 hours since going live, the Battlefront 2 Battle of Geonosis official trailer has already well surpassed The Last Jedi and Solo trailers in likes. Amazing, and it's well over 1 million views right now, guys. It just proves that the community right now wants Clone Wars content. In fact, outside of the Battlefront 2 community, people were taking notice, because even on platforms like Twitch, you know, live streaming platforms, we saw over 6,000 viewers on Battlefront 2, which, you know, has not happened in a very, very long time. So I think the focus on Clone Wars content needs to continue even after Geonosis. And it will, you know, with Anakin and then Dooku in 2019. But we polled you guys about this. We said, what era should Battlefront 2 focus on for new content in 2019? And the majority of you agreed. 85% of you say Clone Wars content. 9% say original trilogy. And then 5% want new trilogy content for Battlefront 2. So again, we want Clone Wars stuff. I really, really want Clone Wars stuff. I can't say it again. I think there's so much potential with what they can still do with Clone Wars. There's just so many untapped heroes, maps, weapons, abilities. I mean, you can get into the Clone Commandos as well. There's a lot of content there, and I really hope that they understand that Clone Wars, people are dying for Clone Wars. Look at them revive the Clone Wars TV series, and the reaction with that. Clone Wars is in, and we want it. But also out on Reddit, Diego says, please give us more original trilogy love soon. All this pre-trilogy content is great and all, but I'm kind of feeling left out from the hype. Prequel trilogy content, excuse me. And then Forge responded, of course, he's our community manager. He says, we know that Star Wars is more than just the prequel trilogy. Don't worry. So they are aware of that, at least. But again, you know, I feel like Battlefront 2015, the first Battlefront game, really was all about the original trilogy. And I think a lot of us still want Clone Wars. I'm just going to say it. Let me know again in the comments down below what you want. But considering the popularity right now, and considering it's Battlefront 2 right now is reaching even outside of the current community, because of Geonosis and Clone Wars, that has to tell you something. Even from a business standpoint. I mean, come on now. Okay, so also we've got some news about lightsaber combat updates and much more. And yes, even General Grievous' new skin as well. But let's get into this. So the question was asked out on Reddit by Berg the Voice. He says, recently it was said lightsaber combat was being worked on. Do you have any update on when that's going to happen, or when the update is taking place? And Forge responded saying, ask me again in a few weeks. So it seems like something is happening with lightsaber combat, and we will be seeing some sort of possible change with that. Now, there was a follow-up question from Darkstalker, who says, a rework, excuse me, of the saber combat would make this game pretty good, along with the minimization of stuns. I can't agree more with that. The stuns. Oh, I feel like raging right now just thinking about it. But a reply here from Forge says, would it? Interesting. So I think they're in tune to the fact that there's too many stuns going on with the lightsaber combat and the heroes in general. So I think that still needs to be worked on and reduced, as well as I think personally they need to still look at the flashbang grenade and stuff like that, because some of this stuff is still way too OP. So hopefully they balance it. But also I wanted to talk a little bit about the upcoming skin for General Grievous. It's the Shattered Grievous skin, which we did get to see some of that here. Let me pop that up for you guys. Right there, at the end of the trailer, it was on display. So, if you missed it, yeah, we're going to be getting General Grievous' new look, as you can see here. He looks pretty badass, doesn't he? That looks freaking awesome. So, we have some additional comments about that. Let me pull that up for you guys real quick. See if I can find that. So, it says right here, I'm dumb. How does the visual effects separate from the skins we have now? So it was said that the visual effects for, Grievous, this new skin, are going to be different. And basically what Forge had to say about this, he says, he's kind of on fire, has embers flicking off of him, and has an ever-present smoke effect. Dang, that sounds pretty awesome. Definitely cannot wait to see that in action. I think, oh yeah, Ryan did mention that he actually did get to play with this new skin. Obi-Wan, Geonosis, all that stuff. So look forward to the vehicles. Look forward to that on Monday. But let's talk about some of the specific hero changes we will be seeing in the future. More specifically, let's talk about Chewbacca. So Kian was busy out on Twitter. Of course, he's the hero designer on Star Wars Battlefront 2. Let's take a look at what he had to say here. He goes on to say, Chewbacca nerf change in a nutshell. Stun grenade, reducing stun time, plus reducing extra damage from shock and vulnerability. Furious bowcaster, reduced explosive damage, plus increased blaster damage, overall reduced damage, by mostly reduced for blocking lightsabers, and reduced fire rate. So we're getting a nerf for Chewbacca, but he does continue on saying this. So if you love Chewbacca, try not to worry. He goes on to explaining this. He says, Chewbacca buff change in a nutshell. Furious bowcaster reduced cooldown time. Charge slam basic damage reduction of 30% without star cards. And then furthermore, he says this. Chewie was too powerful in heroes versus villains, but felt weak in Galactic Assault. This change tries to go in that direction. The nerf to the stun grenade and fire rate, plus bullet heat per shot of the Furious bowcaster is there to prevent the instant kill from 100% health Chewie was capable of. So we're getting a combination, it sounds like, of kind of like a buff and a nerf, it seems. Then he says, also Chewie was too powerful and frustrating against lightsaber heroes, so we decided to reduce the explosive damage he is dealing while increasing the blaster damage. So even if the overall damage is lower, it is still quite effective, just less destructive against lightsabers. So yeah, they're really focusing now on that balance. Great to see that is going to be a focus for, some of the lightsaber combat scenes overall, and then Chewbacca. Let me know what else you guys think needs to change for heroes and villains in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now also, he says the last change is to the cooldown of the Furious bowcaster. This is trying to allow the ability more often, especially in Galactic Assault, to improve Chewie there. On top of that, damage reduction during an ability where he's easily shot by troopers. So yeah, they're going in and they're adjusting, which I think this is great, per mode for heroes versus villains. And then Galactic Assault, kind of treating him differently, dependent on the mode, which I think is pretty wise. Now, the thing is with Battlefront 2 is the name has a stigma to it. It still exists in the overall gaming community, and personally I think that's a shame, because I think DICE have really worked so hard to fix some of the mistakes that were at launch, including the fact that there's no loot crates. But this was out on Reddit. It says this: to all the new potential players who are thinking about buying the game and are making posts like every 5 minutes. And this is from General Grievous 66. He goes on to say some really good points. He says this: do it, buy the game. There is no pay to win, no loot boxes. The progression is much better. Customization exists, as does a new squad system. Everything is free, and the game will be supported next year that is all thanks. You got a lot of upvotes on this. And again, I think, when I talk to people about Battlefront 2 that aren't in this community, it seems like they still think the game has microtransactions just embedded in their brain that has loot crates and microtransactions, and they're done. You know what I have to say? Well, do you realize they got rid of this stuff? And the conversation kind of changes when they're like, wait, what? They introduced SWAT system, the pressure system is different, and they got rid of loot crates? What's going on here? So yeah, I did want to recap that and review that a little bit for anyone that may be watching the video that's new to the channel. Yeah, that crap is gone from the game, which is great news. And yeah, I'm actually happy that they did that for sure. It was I think over in the long term, it was definitely worth changing those things. All right, let's go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below for a chance for it to end up in a video. So, first top comment comes from SASD, who says this: I really want to see something in the catacombs, like a zombie mode where you, solo or with friends, go into the catacombs on Geonosis and kill the Geonosians. And also, now that we've got Geonosis, does this mean we can have maybe Commander Jet and some flame troopers? Who knows? But I love your idea about the catacombs, you know. You can kind of just throw that into a rotation with Ewok Hunt mode and then have that catacomb type mode in there. I think that could work very, very well, having something like that. So yeah, I love that comment and love the idea. So yeah, keep those comments coming in, and it may end up in a video here. Now, Isaac says, my favorite is Phase 1 troopers because they look more like Jango's Mandalorian armor. I love the Phase 1 troopers, and you could expect to see those guys on Geonosis too, so look out for that. But guys, thank you so much for all the support and love on the videos. Remember, if you are new, welcome to the channel, guys. Stay tuned. Remember, subscribe, turn on that bell notification icon, button, whatever, because you won't miss the videos that are coming up. You don't want to miss these. We'll keep you up to date on any change with Battlefront 2, but man, we've got some really cool stuff that will be dropping shortly ahead of the big Geonosis release. But guys, thanks again. Stay tuned to Star Wars HQ for more Star Wars Battlefront 2, and of course we'll be covering, you know, the TV series, the Mandalorian TV series, and the new season for the Clone Wars, so that's going to be sweet. But thanks, guys. I will see you later, and soon enough, on Geonosis. Take care. And may the Force be with you, always.